Hello. This is not how I meant to come after my very long hiatus, but here we are, one day before the campaign for Whispers on the Wind ends. It is not called a campaign, but they have sent me on quests, so that's what I will be referring to it as. Anyway, we are back with Kent. I'm so sorry, my computer crashed about 20 times while trying to do this, and I had to gut it and literally just plug everything back in, and I have like a brand new computer basically, except all I ended up keeping was the power supply. So if you know anything about computers, that'll tell you a little information, I suppose. If not, don't worry, I didn't either. We are with Kent, and my first tip and trick for you for this campaign, which the Sims seem to be stuck on doing even though they are just recycling gameplay, is don't start in a park because it doesn't count. So I came to this lovely park, and even though it said pond, this little river looking thing also seems to count for a fish in a pond. As usual, I added a bench so I could take a nap, but then Kent had to go to work. So I recommend for my second tip that you have a second sim in your household, because I will tell you it was an absolute game changer this time around. We adopted Emmett the last campaign with the Back to the Future style stuff, and he's been great. I actually love having him. So he's over here. I kind of just switched between the two to see who liked doing what better and who was able to succeed. He did a lot of the upgrading, Kent did a lot of the fishing, and so on. So fishing anywhere is fine for that one where it says fish in a pond. Otherwise, the two sims do actually also come in handy with any of the speech ones where it says talk to two people. You can just switch back and forth between one. So, for example, I had Emmett do the ask about the whispers, not in this case. In this case, I just said Guidry. Also, he's possibly in love with Guidry now, so there's some new canon stuff too if you follow Kent's journey. But no, I had Emmett do one of the speech social ones to Kent, and then vice versa. I had Kent do it to Emmett, and it counted as talking to two people, so it was wonderful. I'll point out when it happens. There was a lot that happened just while I was doing gameplay. Also, if you're new here, this is Kent. He is a rage to riches, this very angry man. Also, this is not Kent, this is Emmett. Kent is in the corner. He sleeps a lot. As usual, I do not recommend having your Sims needs not taken care of if you're speedrunning one of these, but it is what it is, and I am who I am, so their needs were always low and is a lot of the video. So if you see cuts, it's because I was just trying to get the need bars back up or my computer crashed. So wonderful there. Kent hates woodworking apparently. He hates a lot of things actually. So he refused to do any of the crafting that was required. So that was all on Emmett, and thank God for him. But if you are looking for a way to speed up your woodworking handiness skill, I recommend adding an incense. I will do it very soon because it is my favorite trick for any time you need someone to do something. And I would say that if you grab that one right there, it doesn't matter which one, but if you turn it on the scent that is sharpening saffron, it will help you increase your focus. If you aren't like me and have Sims that have all their needs met, that focus should change your moodlet and help you to advance your skills. So that's my usual trick that I like to give you. For some reason, every time my game crashed, it decided to reset a lot of the tasks. So if you see one pop back up that we'd already done, that's what happened there. The travel to Foundry Cove, this is a neighborhood. It's in Willow Creek. I had no idea because I don't remember the names of anything. So just ignore me searching for it. It's the bottom right neighborhood in Willow Creek. I'm going to pass it and go back to it. But I think the Sims, for some reason, decided that for this campaign, they were just going to do all the, fairy-esque stuff. So they had us go to the tree to talk to, and then they end up having us go to a secret world a little later, which you will see, and I will help you out with. But otherwise, you just have to dig up some rocks for some reason and then talk to the fancy tree with the mushrooms, which I had Emmett do because he seemed like his colors were in theme. And honestly, sometimes that's the kind of moral support you need to give yourself to get through this if you're doing them all at once. Otherwise, I would say, even though it says use phone to travel, I don't know if it matters, but I did it, so I would stick to the instructions there, because I will say that the tasks are very picky with what you are and are not allowed to do. The hot tub was pretty easy, but because a lot of the things that you need for these tasks are actually items that you have to earn through the quests, I had a hard time because I would end up either I hadn't claimed it from the event UI or I hadn't finished enough tasks to earn them. So that's what happened with this one, with the swimwear that I needed for the hot tub. I had to complete another task first before getting it. Happened to me 3 times, which I will point out each one. But if you're wondering where something is, you think it's missing, you probably just haven't earned it, or you need to go grab it from the event UI for the Whisper whatever campaign. If you're trying to pick which nature aspiration to do, I will say that I tried both the fishing, so angling ace, and the gardening one, which I do not remember the name of, and I recommend the fishing because technically you don't even have to go to a bunch of places. You just need to find a bunch of signs. They count as different fishing spots, so that was wonderful. And the gardening one, it rained, so I couldn't water anything. I accidentally planted everything at once, so it only counted as one water. So if you're going for that one and you think, oh, I'll just plant 10 plants and then water 10 times, if you're going to do that, please plant one thing, water it, plant one thing, water it, plant one thing, water it. Otherwise, it will only count as one watering. That will make sense when you were doing it. Otherwise, I did not succeed there, and I kind of gave up, if I'm being super honest. So that was not great for me. So don't have it be in a rainy season if you're going for the watering. Otherwise, I recommend fishing. The catching 5 fish is super easy, and the fishing in 3 spots. Again, you just have to have 5 different fishing signs. You don't actually have to go to 5 different fishing worlds or like spots necessarily. So that was wonderful. I ended up having Kent do that and just kept lighting my incense and hoping to craft stuff. If you're trying to increase your handiness skill to crafts and stuff, they do give you the handiness skill books as part of the event, campaign, whatever. I'm going to switch back and forth. I'm sorry if you're confused. So go grab those. They go in your inventory. They sort of are helpful. It's definitely not the fastest way to increase a skill, but if you're sick of crafting stuff or your sim just doesn't want to. My sim didn't want to because they were having no fun because I kept having them do things that I needed around the house. So actually the hot tub is really great for that. I just had them sit in the hot tub. I don't know where it's gone now that I'm talking about it, but I had them sit in the hot tub, or I ended up getting a tent. And the tent was great if you're doing a Rage to Riches or Rags to Riches, I guess is the regular one, challenge, because you can sleep and you can increase your fun by reading the Wilderness Digest. Oh, this is my game deciding. I was like, where is the thing gone? This is my game crashing, and I don't have any of the stuff that I need. So also, save often, but I wanted to keep this bit in here because the reward store has a lot of good traits that can help you just like power through this. Otherwise, we're back to what we were at before. I just kept that little bit in there so you could see and to remind myself to give you that trick. But here it had like 2 fishing signs, for example, that counted as 2 fishing spots. The cats kept getting sick, which was a whole thing. If you'll notice, I made them a house so they could go indoors. It did not help. That was just a whole hullabaloo that happened. And then we had a robbery. And of course, because Kent is who Kent is, he fought the robber and succeeded. I'll give you that little sneak peek. Yep, succeeded. So we got all of our stuff back, which was great. And also was fantastic because I think Kent needed to let a little rage out. I definitely was not raging as hard as I needed to be during this. Oh, and then there was a fire. That was my other tip for you, is please don't have a grill on the lot, because the amount of fires and the amount of time that I took extinguishing these fires was absolutely abysmal. So, recommendation, do not have a grill on the lot, and just don't have any fires happen while you're trying to speedrun this. Otherwise, I can't help you there. But I can say that if you, going back to, okay, so the hot tub increase is fun. If you're working on upgrading your handiness skill, you can use the books, you can use the incense. The other trick I found is you can obviously repair things, but upgrading was super helpful as well. You'll see it a little later, but I'll just give it to you now while I'm remembering. But if you need the upgrade parts, you just go into your laptop, go into purchase. Everything is alphabetical. I don't know if it's under purchase or if it's under buy. Now that I'm thinking about it. Well, we'll see it later, so you'll find out again later. And then go into the very last one, which is purchase upgrade parts. Here's the 2 fishing signs that helped me out to finish this one. This one took me forever, the complete 1 level of nature aspiration, just because my Sims needs are never great. So, bringing 2 Sims did not help here, so we left Emmett at home. Otherwise, I would say to, let's see, I'm trying to think. I've gone through my main list. We have a couple that'll come up later, but we are only halfway through, so I don't know. Also, now that we've gone through the mean ones, we've gotten to the kind of fun, only Kent would need this tip trick, which is don't have a bunch of pets. And don't have a bunch of pets because all of our pets became elders during my filming of this. And unfortunately, that meant that they were taken by old age and the Grim Reaper. And the Grim Reaper and old age cause grief now, so grief is a big hindrance to completing tasks and upgrading skills. I just all around don't recommend it. I think honestly too that this would have been much more fun with a romantic partner. There were so many things that would have been like super cute to have as part of my storyline, but no, I just had Kent and Emmett. So here's the cave that you're going to go investigate, by the way. This is what takes you to the secret world. It's Forgotten Grove. I will take you through the steps you need once we get to level 10, which took me forever for handiness skill. I mean, technically, I suppose you could just do a nice little preview and try to, you know what, actually start this entire thing with a sim that is at level 10 handiness. There's my main and most important tip for you. But anyway, grief does not help with succeeding in the tasks that life has handed to you, in this case life being the Sims. So that's the one. Yep, there we go. Grim Reaper. Unfortunately, Midget went first. I did keep one of the cats, and I will wait so you have to find out by watching the whole video to the end. But they got their own little house here, and then in order to sleep in the same room, I did not have the ability to do that with the tent. So technically, this little outdoor room, I have one up on my my profile. I built one and then I uploaded it to the gallery. They count as a room because I made them a room with a roof, but then I hid them as an outdoor thing. So if you need a waterproof anything, that's my tip and trick to do that. In this case, that waterproof thing being the radio, so you could listen to soundscapes, which was another one of the ones that I had to go to the event UI for and couldn't figure out where it was on the radio until I had claimed it. So that's the second one. There is a third one that I will talk about a little later. Building the reclaimed wood and like chairs and dining room was super easy, but there is something called the wooden or golden throne. I don't remember. You'll see it in a second. And that was one that I also needed from the event UI that I did not remember to get. So that one does not show up automatically for you. You will need to be level 8 if you don't like to check the little hints that are on the tasks by hovering over them. So that one I recommend waiting till your sim has leveled up or until you've started with a sim that's at level 10, which would be the smart thing to do, and definitely my biggest regret here, if I'm being super honest. You can see they are very sad. They are grieving. That is not even the first cat to go. There are 3 more, so it was 100% a struggle. The crafting is, if it offers, do you like woodworking? I would say yes, because Kent was unable to even complete one thing as someone who does not like woodworking, so that was no good. Otherwise, I would say that in order to get the most out of what you are eventually going to call the worst 2 hours of your life is please just try to make this into a house like I'm going to do and use all of the things that it's making you craft. It's a fun little mini challenge that you can do afterwards. That's just a suggestion. That's not actually my biggest tip. I'm sorry, I feel like I worked that up and it wasn't even anything. But anyway, the man is just going to keep working. And you can see in the background, that's the outhouse. That's the golden throne. He finally finished it. Otherwise, the last thing that we need to do before they give us one more task is to go break open the secret world, which he will do in a second. I'm trying to grab all the cats and their urns and graves. We've lost another one at some point here, and we'll eventually be losing 2 more. I did take out the video, I'm now remembering, where I tell you, or I guess show you, which one I saved. I saved Mr. Business, which is no surprise to anybody that's been following Kent's journey, and went to the vet and bought some aged down and ambrosia treats just in case. But otherwise, if any of the other cats were your favorite, please say goodbye in this video because they will no longer be with us. Here it is. It's in purchase, so go to P in the alphabetical order, buy all your upgrade parts, and upgrade. Honestly, it was the absolute easiest thing to just earn most of the handiness levels and skills by upgrading the hot tub, but I also worked on upgrading my shower, and I don't know why Father Winter is in the background wearing a Darth Vader mask, but there he is. And then my second one is if you have the kit for restoration. This was my absolute favorite thing. These take forever to restore, so that's how I ended up getting to level 10 in the end. It was working. It took me 1 upgrade on the shower, 1 restoration of the stove, 1 restoration of the microwave, also the amount of sleep that I had to get to do this. And then for some reason he kept not being able to sleep, and that was because I had upgraded the hot tub to add a radio. It's not in this section, so if you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, just ignore me. But I had added a radio, and anytime, if you play the sim long enough, if a radio is on in the same area where you're trying to sleep, they keep waking up. That kept happening to me, even though this little thing in the corner is technically a room. There's no walls, so we can still hear the radio from the hot tub. So the man couldn't sleep, and then because the man couldn't sleep, he couldn't restore these things that I had given him. There we go. There was one more thing he needed, which is the fridge, because apparently 2 restorations was not enough, so we restore the fridge, and then we will break open the cave. I will take you through which choices to make so you don't have to keep exiting and then entering the cave during all the pop-ups. I've got quite a lot of stuff going on, so if you do want to watch me do the speed build that I'm probably going to, I didn't even mention this. I did mention this, but I mentioned it in a weird way, so I'm going to mention it again, basically, which is that I'm going to take all of these things that I have had to buy for this campaign, and I am going to make Kent's house out of it, which is the thing that I just built up, and then for some reason it wasn't even what I thought it was. So if you're confused, let me say it again. I'm going to use all the stuff to build Kent's house. I definitely don't know how I'm going to do it, so if you're interested, that should be my next video. Otherwise, we are finally at the cave to get to the Forgotten Grotto. The Forgotten Hollow, I never remember which one it's called, but basically you're going to want to choose the wide path at the very beginning. You're going to want to choose the ladder, climb ladder. I did not choose that, so as you can see, I had to go through all the wrong answers first. And then the last one is to step onto the ledge. I did finally choose the correct answer there. And then it gives you the option to return to the cave entrance or go to the grotto, which I don't understand. Like, obviously I did this whole thing to go to the grotto, but maybe it was a mistake and someone wants to go back. But don't accidentally go back, because then you have to do it all over again. You have to take pictures here, and a selfie does count. I did check that out for you, and then I took a bunch of pictures because this Forgotten World is actually gorgeous. You can also bring your other sim in your household here using the little like lightning bolt thing that like lets you sort of operate them. Operate them is the wrong word for a sim, but please excuse me because we all know how much I hate speed build voiceovers. So anyway, I tried fishing here with Kent, but I didn't catch anything interesting. I thought I might. You probably can, but I was in a pinch. But because I brought him here, I was able to do the share findings about Forgotten Grotto back and forth between the two, which was super helpful. I didn't have to go find another person in another world, go through another loading screen, but I did have to deal with their needs failing constantly, so there's that. Anyway, we finally made it to the very last quest. I don't know why it was stuck on that for a while, please ignore it, but they brought back plant sims as a thing again. I think they're pushing them a lot. I don't know what they're gonna do in the future, because I'm pretty sure it was in one of these other weird event things as well. You just have to buy the little like stump thing. I'm gonna remember it. It's called Magic Bean Log, I believe. It's gonna pop up second. There it is. Plant, no, I kept searching the wrong things. Yeah, magic plant stump. And then you literally only have to do one bean after you do this Ask Two Sims. I don't know why they didn't have me do the whole thing so that I could have a plant sim, but I guess they gave up, which is what I'm about to do because it's the end of the video. Goodbye. I